Hi, I'm Rosetree, and I am into deeper perception, made practical. And today I want to open you up to the possibility of some amazing ahas that you can start getting about people through this one little book. It is fascinating that there are these different ways that people learn about other people. Maybe you've made up some of the ways that you do it. I am really into learning about people and getting ahas about who they really are and not just how they seem to be. Like, say, this guy in one of the illustrations in Read People Deeper. You might look at him and just think of his expression, his mood, but he might wind up having some really amazing talents. And what if this man, or your father-in-law, or your next door neighbor, or your boss, would you really get the best relationship with this person in your life if you just stereotype him and it's like slammed shut, now I know everything, he's a grumpus? We can do so much better, and here's what I invite you to. You can take your interest in body language, because who isn't interested in body language? I mean, really. Can you remember when you discovered it and what an aha that was? But there are still new things in body language that I can teach you in that book. And then you could consider face reading. Now I have one book, The New Power of Face Reading, that's entirely dedicated to reading faces and learn about the soul and special things with people. But it's so much fun to do face reading plus body language. And that's what you get to do in Read People Deeper. You get to read about 50 different categories in life that are really practical and important. Many things about career, many things about friendships, some things about sex, and some things that are about how people deal with money. There's loads and loads of information that's yours for the taking, that's accurate, and this book teaches you how. So that's a whole second kind of aha. You can have body language plus face reading. But then there's the third aha, which is aura reading. And what happens with aura reading is that this book has a little section up front that helps you find your way into reading people's energy fields and getting quality information, even reading what are known as chakra data banks. And if you've only heard of chakras and you haven't yet heard about chakra data bank, you are missing 80% of the information. And you could be getting that with the skills. So this book contains techniques for reading another person in person. And then there's another way to read another person in person, in case you want a different way that works better with the gifts you happen to have in life, reading auras. And then there is a way to read auras from regular photos, not the fancy photos at psychic fairs, regular photos. And then there's another technique for reading people from regular photos. So once again, you can use the gifts that you have. So long story short, you learn how to do aura reading to learn about those 50 different categories, and you can combine the aura reading and the face reading and the body language to get as much information as you want about somebody else or about you. And I just want to tell you one of the sweetest things that's happened to me with this particular book and results people have had from it. I got an email from this guy, Joe. I tell stories about Joe and Gladys to preserve confidentiality, you know. He sent me the email, not the whole world. So Joe wrote to me from Africa, and he said basically this: I've got to tell you something. I got that book because I wanted to do body language and face reading. And I learned a lot. And I noticed in every one of these 50 chapters there was a section on reading auras, and I thought it was stupid. I thought there probably was no such thing as an aura, and if there was, there's no way I could ever do it. But just for the heck of it, I did the things that were in the front of the book, and I'm a really good aura reader now. And now that part's my favorite. So I don't know what your favorite will be. I can tell you there are so many ways that this particular book is very, very useful. And I encourage you to go on over to my website, rosetree.com. You can read what these 50 different categories are that are right inside the cover and amaze yourself.